It's Wednesday on your view. No, it's Thursday on your view. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Yo.
I was waiting for that eye look that tells me. You guys don't know how to look at me. That's what I was wondering. I didn't YK.
You're waiting for eye look. You're 41 now. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, don't worry. I'm very far.
That's old age. It's coming. It's coming.
I'm very far.
You are forgetting the days.
The days of the week.
The days of the week. It will soon be the time.
It's just because she does it every day. Like
the time
every day rolls into the
She
next.
start greeting good morning at night.
YK. You don't even greet good
I reject it.
Amen.
Hey, I came early today. I left the house today after 6.
Because of the express on Tuesday.
The road was not
after 6.
free.
No, it wasn't which kind of free. There was still traffic.
There's traffic. Oh.
Yeah.
There was still traffic.
our
but
new-
at least I got here after 7.
It's a new normal now, YK, because there are lots of road constructions going on across the state. So I think the government should just accept that for the next few months, this is going to be our experience because everywhere was just locked down yesterday, the day before. Ogun State, and that's a different matter. Somebody will send me a message. This road, Shango, Ijoko, road, the thing we should help.
Shango Tedo?
No, not Shango Tedo. Shango, Ijoko road, local government, local government.
Okay.
The road is horrible, deplorable. Governor Abiodun should please come to the aid of these people.
Mr. Taye lives there. If he's coming to me, he takes an Okada. He can't drive his car.
Wow. It's that bad.
That is how bad that area is.
Yeah.
But our own area too is bad.
It is well.
You know, they started so well. And that's my problem.
And then they didn't finish it.
They didn't finish it, then they just abandoned it.
He said about 400 communities are connected to that community.
Joko Road.
Everyone living in this area seems afflicted with the double trouble of the bad roads that daily have the traffic crawling at snail's pace. Government, both present and past, has been accused of neglecting this critical infrastructure for about 20 years, causing people to bear the brunt.
Wow.
Please, the governor should help us look into that community.
Shango,
Joko,
please,
For local government is responsible. For local government, and they are in charge of our own area too.
As well.
So it's a whole... Well, okay. How are you doing, Waika?
Yes, I'm doing very well. My banter actually ties in with...
Traffic issues.
Well, the season, because of the rain, traffic issues actually usually gets worse. But, I do my weekly meetings, and God just has been faithful. Started a meeting yesterday with someone who's been in the construction industry for about 15 years, an engineer, hoping to sign deals to have more houses for sale. But there was something I learned that I felt I would share with everybody, and it was that July is the best time to buy your house or buy your land. That because when you go for site inspection, you see the location at its worst state it could be in. And you can decide, okay, I don't mind the bad roads, my house is high. Okay, I don't mind that you can see because it's usually raining all through July. So you have real-time value of the land you're buying, the house you're buying. So if you're buying house or buying land, check it out this July. You can know if you're buying a swimming pool or you're buying a land.
Somebody went to almost paid money, like multi-millionaire land from the US, to send money from the US to pay. Let me just say, let me go and check. And I wasn't just, let me just help you go and check the place. They didn't tell us. Anyway, we checked the place. Swamp. The buildings there were already sinking.
So somebody can see that land and still choose to buy based on the location where it is that I would do piling, I would do all of that. But not that you are unaware.
But you buy informed decision.
The billions you used to do piling for this place, I'll show you the place is horrible. Everybody knows it. How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm just grateful. It's July and
tomorrow's
our birthday.
Tomorrow's our birthday. Mariam is not to be quiet. Yes.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
I will see you tomorrow, so happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
So we'll definitely
I'll get my gift to you next week. I will buy it today.
Nima took me out yesterday for Amala. So we had Amala yesterday.
That's nice.
How cute.
Nima is the plug for those kind of... I went to visit Nima. I can never forget this story. Like, I got to Nima's hospital with pizza. She said, I don't want pizza, I want Amala.
From the ladies of your view.
Yes, Yomenia Alashoke.
Yes.
That's all we can take. Let's come back. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sorry, I did not look at the time.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, let's start with the nation. Power shift, PDP caucus backs Southern governors. 950 pupils abducted from schools in 6 months, says UNICEF. Zulum Colonel Umar military lacks manpower and equipment. Court clears ex-minister Adeosun of NYSC violation. Protests in Ibadan over security raid on Igboho's home. Kwara crisis, APC summons Lai Mohammed. Okay, let's start with the UNICEF story.
Yes. So UNICEF was speaking yesterday, and they are expressing deep concern over the state of insecurity, especially concerning children. A total of 950 pupils have been abducted from schools by gunmen in the last 6 months. So just within this year, we've had 950 children abducted from their school, especially adding this Monday incident where over 100 pupils were abducted from Bethel Baptist High School in Kaduna State as well. They are urging the government to beef up security because pre this series of abduction, we already have deficits that a lot of children are out of school. Yeah. Now we have more reasons for these children not to show up in school. The government needs to take decisive action to encourage parents to feel more comfortable with putting their children back into school, especially
so
within the north.
The proposition for schools has totally diminished because of the insecurity.
Yes.
No parents want to.
They're not even going before. Now you give them more reasons for them to say, sit down at my farm.
Yes.
Okay, so we have. Go ahead.
Okay, in Ladipo Market, there was fire on Wednesday around 4 a.m. It said, and that's the spare parts market, and goods worth millions of naira were lost. One person says that a particular shop that sells explosive items was where the fire started. Many people were affected, of course. The fire service got there. There were rumors that there were people who were caught up in the fire, who may have died in the fire, but NEMA is saying that there were no human beings in the fire, just properties that were lost, even though, I mean, lots of money was lost. People who have their shops there, one particular person said he had just stocked his shop with goods when this fire happened. So really sad, and our hearts go out to them.
Yes. Okay, so I have the story with Colonel Umar, the former military governor of Kaduna State. He was saying that the president is giving undue attention to IPOB, that's Nnamdi Kanu, instead of focusing on deadly activities of bandits and kidnappers who are ravaging the country, particularly in the northwest and northeast. But he also said that it is quite strange and disturbing that the FG is according undue attention to the threats of separatist movements in contrast to the more daunting areas in the northwest and northeast and some parts of north central. Over 1,000 school children have been abducted in the past 8 months, and over 300 still in the hands of the bandits. So these are more daunting issues.
He also spoke about the military. Him and Zulum also spoke about the military, that the military 40 years ago was better equipped than it is today. And that the president has ordered, Zulum said the president had ordered, says he had ordered some equipment. Until now, they haven't arrived. Where are they?
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the Punch. Lagos, Abia, Zamfara, 12 other states' debts jumped to 1.68 trillion naira. Robbers killed 2 Lagos Okada riders and steal motorcycles. Baptist school students' abductors run out of food. NBC opposes ransom. Lagos moves against gridlock, deploys technology against traffic offenders. NYSC certificate, I'll take steps to redeem my reputation, says Adeosun. INEC maintains dead governors, ministers' orders on voter register. And National Assembly ignores South governors' orders, defend controversial PIB provisions. Okay, let's take
the Bethel story.
Go ahead.
So the bandits that abducted 121 students of Bethel Baptist are asking for foodstuff to feed the abductees. They're demanding for rice, beans, and so many other things. They haven't yet asked for a ransom, from what the report says, but that they have run out of food so far. And if this foodstuff is not sent to them, the children will have nothing to eat. And also, the president for the Nigerian Baptist Convention, Reverend Israel Konju, says that the church will also not encourage the payment of ransom. That is working hand in hand with the Kaduna State government to make sure that these children are released, and talking to the parents as well, because kidnapping is a criminal act, and so they would not be supporting the payment of ransom.
Right.
I'll take the INEC story because apparently, despite 32 months of INEC suspending registration, they haven't cleaned up their books. They found that there were people that have died since 2012. The former governor of Kaduna State, Patrick Yakowa, since 2012. Alamesia's name is still registered, even though he died in 2015. And Professor Dara Akuli that died in 2014, her name is still there.
The one that died in 2012 is still there.
And there are many others. So we are using notable names. We also have people that are just regular individuals that died, that are dead, and their names are still within the list, and they can be easily used for voters to commit fraud within the voting process.
There's no database, because there's no database in Nigeria, so we can't know who is alive and who
death
is
certificate for everybody that gets buried.
I said that's their excuse. Right. I didn't say it's correct.
I wanted to take the Adeosun story. So, as the story, we know that the courts actually had said that the fact that she got her certificate in the UK at the time, at the age of 22, that she wasn't qualified, it wasn't a requirement for her to do an NYSC for the political appointment. However, although Punch says, she says, I'll take steps to redeem my reputation, that's not what she said, because I read the article. And what she actually said, she said, I will, at the appropriate time, without hesitation, take further steps within the law to protect my reputation. So protecting her reputation is completely different from redeeming, because you can actually get people talking about her redeeming and then cause a whole new conversation. But what she says is protect her reputation going forward. After this has happened to her.
When she graduated, she was a British citizen. She hadn't become, and she graduated at 22. Yeah. So she could not do the NYSC because she was a British citizen. By the time she came to Nigeria at 30 or over that, she was over the age. Required age to do her.
But that doesn't negate the fact that there was a forgery.
It doesn't. So, but the court will only address what is brought before them. They're not going to talk about the forgery unless someone now institutes
another one.
That's
okay. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, we're going to move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. 2023 budget FG to fund a 5.62 trillion naira deficit with loans. No illegality in the process leading to Canoe's arrest, says Malami. FG's agency director, Professor Ndubisi, police escort shot dead. Protest rocks Ibadan over DSS raid on Igboho's house. Many fear dead as Boko Haram attacks community close to SGS village. We are sending criminals to God to answer for their crimes. Rotational presidency will unify end secession agitation, says Southern senators actually. Trump sues Twitter and Google, Facebook. Buhari has mismanaged Nigeria's diversity, says Dangiwa Umar. Okay, lots of stories here.
Yes, so our Chief of Army Staff, the newly decorated Chief of Army Staff, was speaking with journalists and, just asked what his plans are. He says he'll continue to do the work, put in their best, with the experience, and that work had already started towards the fight against insurgency, and it's been yielding positive results, and they'll just continue to work on that. And when the journalists asked him about our president's message that they will be treated in the language that they understand, and he said that we have already started doing that, and many of them have been sent to God to answer for their crimes. That's a very powerful message. We like to hear all these strong sound bites come from our military when it comes to how they are fighting insurgency. So also the Minister for Defense also spoke up, like, we are working hard to make sure that all criminal elements, kidnappers, bandits, wherever they are captured and they are, sent to God to answer for their crimes.
Okay.
I would like to say, as he has sent them, he must remember that the bandits are also sending our own military.
And they say it that for every bandit that is killed, they are killing so number of people.
Let me talk about Malami. The Attorney General has said that he was responding to accusations that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested illegally, and he said that it's abundantly clear that a bench warrant was lawfully and judiciously procured through a judicial process by a competent court of law, whose bail conditions Canoe had breached with impunity, and there was no illegality in the entire process. And the question of illegality doesn't come at all. So he was trying to defend the fact that he was appropriately arrested back and brought back to the country.
They should just tell us how it happened. If it's legal, let's be a government of transparency. Tell us how it happened.
Let us wait for
Don't let us be spreading, because what's happening is all kinds of rumors.
All kinds of rumors. I heard that they even debated it in the House yesterday. We don't know what happened in the UK, in the British Parliament. I heard that it was debated. Anyway.
Major headline.
Major headline. Go ahead, please.
So the Federal Executive Council meeting that took place yesterday, every Wednesday, has approved the new medium-term expenditure framework. So it's supposed to be for 2 years, 2022 to 2024 has been approved, and we'll propose the budget for 2022. And in that budget, the total expenditure would be 13.9 trillion naira, and our deficit is 5.6 trillion, and that's almost 50% of what we're budgeting is going to be at deficit. So we'll need to borrow. In the minimum, we're going to be borrowing about 4.8 trillion naira to make up for the deficits already on ground. And this is, we are expecting that we'll be able to sell our oil, and our oil will sell at $57 per barrel. So if our oil doesn't sell at $57 per barrel, we have more deficit. If dollar prices currently pegged at 410, does not work out, we are having another problem. If 10% inflation, which is what they pegged at, which is currently not on ground, we have over 15%, about 13% inflation, and they are pegging next year at 10%. So many economic issues that we are hoping that can be dealt with appropriately.
So Donald Trump has taken Twitter, Facebook, Google to court in a class action suit. They targeted his 3 CEOs also. And if you recall, he was suspended for the messages he had actually put out on those platforms in the wake of the Capitol Hill riots. And he says that we are demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and cancelling that you all know. So if they can do it to him as a former president, they can do it to anyone. So he felt that these platforms are censoring, and they can, if you don't stop them now, they can always do that to anybody else. And that's
They said they removed him when he was president, not when he wasn't president. They removed him when he was president, and it was inciting
the policy.
He was inciting
the government. He was inciting violence.
He was now saying that the former president said that the post that got him banned was the most loving sentence.
What was the sentence?
He has selective memory.
Anyways, let's move on now to another paper.
He has that bigger.
What do you think this would mean for us in Nigeria?
What would it mean? It's a hot topic for conversation, discussion, Something we can discuss. Daily Sun, 2023, Zulum Northern Groups back Southeast and Middle Belt for presidency. I'm sure Miriam has that story. Igboho youths protest against DSS in Ibadan. Lagos deploys technology device to ease gridlock check. Please, I want to hear that Lagos story. Who read it?
Yes.
You have it. Very good. Rivers, Ijaw groups reject PIB, one of their consequences. Please, how is Lagos going to use technology to reduce this? Please tell us.
Okay, so it's called, the technology they're going to use is called the Traffic Management Solution Device.
Okay.
It will capture pictures and videos of traffic violators. So in real time, they will catch you. There's no hiding. And because most of these violators are the reason we have gridlocks in many areas. So this would help in making sure people comply. And also it will reduce the number of traffic law officials on the road and their communication with commuters, because the the device will do all that. And then also, stories about, the officials did this, this is not what really happened, the video will show. That's all it's saying,
nice.
that there's this video that will catch you now, so better behave.
See, at the end of the day, technology
now.
Is a solution to a lot of things. You just need to engage technology as well. But I'm happy that
it sounds beautiful on paper, because I read it as well. It sounds beautiful on paper. My own is they should implement it, because, it's very irritating when you are doing the right thing and these people are doing the wrong thing. And they get away with it. So I would be very happy if this thing can actually work.
You're totally right, Mikey.
What causes traffic? When you feel that you are better than every other person.
Yes, you're smarter than everyone else. That's it.
And those Okada riders. Let's take another story.
Yeah, so Zulum, the governor of Borno State, and the North Central Progressive Group have backed the Southern governors. So in response to the Southern governors' communique, he's saying that he has always thought that it is time for the South to take the leadership position. He says he would not say it's a must, but it's good to have that power shift and rotation because, you know, it encourages inclusivity and things like that. And then they're looking also, so the North Central Progressive Group is also specific to the Southeast. They're saying that all the leaders of the different geopolitical zones should support people coming from the Southeast and North Middle Belt to run for office. They also mentioned that please be 60 years and below, not above. We don't want oldies. We want, you know, fresh blood, young people who can run around. So they're just saying that. So that's why yesterday we were saying we need to be careful, people that respond to different things. Not everyone speaks for everybody. Everybody has their own personal opinion concerning how this is seen. But, you know, the governor of Borno thinks the South governor.
Okay, let's move on to Vanguard.
Rivers State, Ijaw youth have come up to speak concerning the PIB, saying that this is an insult to them, that 3% is an insult, and that they have been clamoring concerning this bill, and this, that people cannot sit at the National Assembly, that you cannot drill oil from their place and give them pain, and use the funds from the oil to give comfort to other people, that there will be dire consequences if their request is not attended to, and they have called on the president, that the president should not assent to this bill until this clause is reversed and they are given the actual 5% that they want. They also raised other issues with the PIB, but mainly they are saying we will return to the creeks, we will return to the struggle if we are not answered.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard.
Okay, sorry, I was just going to take the Igboho story.
Yeah.
The youth,
they
came out to protest yesterday. They are protesting the raid on his house, the arrest of some people in his house, and they are saying, look, we can protest, we can ask for the Yoruba nation. That doesn't mean you should raid, and they want them to remove the wanted thing on his head.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yes, he's wanted. He's been asked to appear before DSS.
Yes, okay.
So
and also, I think they also wanted to release about 13 of his people that they arrested.
Yeah, they were arrested.
There are about 1,000 of them, actually, that protested. I was really surprised. They said that almost 1,000 of them went on the streets, and it was quite peaceful.
He's not a criminal. Sunday Igboho is not a criminal. Odua nation. No retreat, no surrender. Stop the killing. Stop the killing the Yoruba. Release Igboho.
That's what they're saying. Okay, moving on very quickly. We have a little time to Vanguard budget 2022. FG to fund 5.262 trillion. That's its deficit with loans. Tough times await airlines over flight delays and cancellations. Kidnappers of Tejina peoples reduce ransom to 50 million naira 6 weeks after. PDP lawmakers back Southern governors, reject bids to manipulate electoral bill. NYSC court clears ex-finance minister. Grazing routes, Buhari's directive empty order, says ex-NBA President Daudu. And 2023 zoning presidency to South, not a must, says Zulum. Okay, the airlines, who has that story?
Yes, I have the story. So they said airlines will be facing tougher times because in the past, specifically within the first quarter of this year, over 50% of local flights were delayed. Over 50%. Out of the 14,000, about 7,500 were delayed. Even international flights were delayed. Now, cancellation of flights, about 149 local flights were cancelled. So the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission have decided that they are going to face them, and there'll be stiff penalties for the delay because there's a whole lot of challenge that this causes individuals. They're not comfortable with traveling because you might just get to the airport thinking your flight is 9 o'clock and they will leave you there for the next 3 hours with no compensation, not even water to drink. So the Consumer Protection Commission is saying that they are going to penalize airlines and they will be facing tough times considering if they continue to delay flights without.
That's good. Okay, our final paper, Daily Trust, concerns as polio variant hits 13 states in FCT.
Wow.
Canoe youth sets himself ablaze over inability to pay the NECO fees. And Chibok girls bags degree 7 years after Boko Haram kidnapping.
I took the very sad story of this young man in Canoe State. He set himself ablaze because he was unable to pay for his SSC and NECO exams. They said he had written these exams a few times, 3 times before, and he failed. And this very last time, he had put some money together and been asking and had been saying that if I don't get the money for this and I'm unable to write this, I'm going to kill myself, because he really wanted to just, further his education. And they said on this particular day, he also worked in a mechanic workshop. He got paid, went and bought fuel, went into his room and set himself on fire. Was rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, 2 days later, he passed. The community is also blaming a particular politician who had promised to pay for NECO fees for all the people in that community, and he had failed to do that.
Okay, so remember we declared polio-free about less than a year ago, but right now there's an outbreak in about 13 states that says that medical experts say that the outbreak is a public health concern and warn that it is a threat to Nigeria's wild polio virus-free status. The outbreak came as just about a year. I'm saying that we are quite concerned about these ravaging virus of polio. It will really
because we're supposed to be have eradicated polio.
And we're the only ones left in the whole world that haven't eradicated polio 100%.
Wow.
That's all terrible. We can take on front page review. When we come back, it's Thursday. Talk about life issues. Stay with us. But first, we have a guest from Omnibase. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
In the last 1 year, COVID-19 has taught us not to only embrace smart, innovative thinking, it has also put us in a position to move swiftly and prioritize what is most important, staying safe. Omnibase delivers FMCGs to retailers at their doorstep. We are breaking barriers to ensure convenient, easy, and safe delivery. In the wake of the pandemic, Omnibase has helped to safely deliver products to 25,000 retailers across the country. Everyone on our team understands the importance of ensuring they follow COVID-19 protocols. And as a community of reliable and dedicated people, we make sure that our products are packed and delivered with care and attention.
During the lockdown, when I don't feel go to market, I order my goods from Omnibase app and they deliver it for me.
We at Omnibase are committed to ensuring that businesses thrive despite the challenges.
Wow. So we have our friends from Omnibase. We have Zainab Arile Shere, the product lead, retailer experience, Omnibase digital platform, and Elizabeth Adebanjo, product marketing manager, Omnibase digital platform. Welcome, ladies, to the show.
Hi.
You guys are doing great things. So based on that video, I mean, obviously you are like the link between that the wholesalers and the consumers. So you help the retailers to get their product. Could you tell us a bit more about Omnibase and why you set up this platform in the first place?
So I'd say that we are a retail technology company, and we're trying to ensure that we give convenience and ease to our retailers. We're delivering quality, and we're delivering the quantity that they want. How do we do this? So let's paint a scenario, for instance. So there's this retailer who would usually lock up the store and lose sales, or not lock it up and just entrust it to someone, and they're not really sure if that person will deliver. If that person even knows the prices of the things they sell, they have to go to the open market to get their goods. But we're saying we're giving you all of the categories of FMCG, as many as possible, because we're in partnerships with a lot of distributors and manufacturers. So it's as simple as you see all the things you want on our platform, just add, and check out, and we'll deliver to you at no cost at all.
What?
I mean, it just sounds very innovative, and I'm wondering where can we find you in Nigeria? Because usually when things happen like this, it's just Lagos. Can we find you everywhere else in Nigeria?
We're everywhere, actually, and in the coming weeks, we have growth and expansion plans, right? And we'll be opening more hubs so that we can serve and reach more people. But right now, we're in Lagos,
Abuja, Port Harcourt. We're pretty much expanding really fast. We're scaling up really fast. So in a couple of weeks, we'll just be everywhere.
So, Elizabeth, please, how has Omnibase helped retailers? I know that your business deals with both retailers and wholesalers, but how have you helped retailers so far?
Okay, so we are providing retailers with ease and convenience. So look at it this way. You do not have to leave your shop for any market reason. So that just puts your mind at ease, because all you have to do is at a few clicks on your phone, you can just have those goods delivered to your doorstep at zero delivery cost as of now. So yeah, you have more time to yourself, and especially because some of those retailers are elderly people. So there's this peace of mind that comes with, oh, I don't even have to go through, let's use Lagos as an example. I don't have to go to Lagos traffic and then, you know, conductors, Balogun markets, you know, all of those things. It just puts your mind at rest. Your health is better. You're able to have more time for the things that are truly important.
So when you say no cost, that's no delivery cost, but they will pay for their goods,
obviously.
Of course. But you know how things fluctuate in markets, you know, so you bought this bar soap in the morning, in Balogun, X amount of money, and then things have changed. How is there a constant communication, customer service with the retailer that knows they can monitor how the prices are, so they know exactly what they're buying and how much it is per time?
Well, definitely. We have, we would say, a one-to-one relationship with all of them.
Okay.
And as the prices change, we try as much as possible to sort of keep it within a margin that is respectful to them. So, of course, we don't want their consumers to run away as well. So we're trying to balance out the market price and ensure we give them good prices.
Are you sure that, you know, the average retailer wants to go to the market and scoop out thinking I'll get a cheaper deal if I go from store to store? Can you explain what the advantage would be for a retailer that makes you more competitive than them stressing themselves that the prices will still make sense when they come to Omnibus? Omnibus.
Yeah. So 3 things. Everybody likes comfort. Nobody wants to go and dip their leg inside mud. Because you're going to the left corner to look for sardine. You're going there to look for pasta. Like, you're literally running around the market to get different categories. But we have all of these brands and all the categories in one place for you. So that is, like, the major advantage. And it translates to maximizing their growth potential, right? So when you're not leaving your store, you're making more money. You're not losing sales to like another neighborhood retailer that is somewhere down the street. That money you could have used for transportation or for alabaru. You can easily use it to just give someone that's not doing anything. So maybe someone just finished their school certificate exams, right? You can still pay that person. Say, see, when the Omnibase delivery guy comes, do my inventory for me. And then it translates into larger profit for you, more return on investment.
So and this seems like you're going to open up another opportunity for logistics companies. Are you partnering with anyone right now?
Yes, yes. So currently we're open to partnership with third-party logistics company. So it's easy to sign up and join us and work with us. That's available on our website. You can just click Get Started, and then you'll definitely be signed up on our platform. But then, of course, we're ensuring that every of our partners are able to work with us, in that you have to have the right kind of people who are educated enough to understand B2B logistics, because it's a different ballgame when you're working with retailers. So it's not your business as usual, so to speak.
Right. So, for example, for a working class woman like me, and I want to open a store for my grandmother in maybe the village, and I store up, I call you guys up, guys, we want A, B, C, D for the store. Whenever she runs out, she just calls me, Mariah, please, I need this, I need that. I just link up with you, and you deliver to her. So you can actually manage your mother's or your father's businesses for them on their behalf, because the truth is that they don't have to worry about restocking. Their kids who open the store for them can actually help them restock.
You know, when you just gave that example, we just don't know. My mom actually do. Mom buys, and every time she's having to beg my dad that, please drive the car to take us to go and buy this, this,
you can just use
Omnibase
and just deliver the goods. So it makes life easier.
The solution is pretty easy, right? They can as well use it. It's not so hard. It's just click, look for what you want, and check out.
But what is there like a benchmark in terms of pricing? I know you mentioned a store, that the retailer must have a store, but what else is the benchmark for someone to come on the platform and register as a retailer?
The barrier to entry is pretty low. You have a store, you're selling to consumers in your neighborhood.
You sell FMCG products. I'll be there for you.
You're good too.
All righty, thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to tell our viewers about Omnibase that was not mentioned?
Yes, there is something. I understand that it's probably a lot of retailers don't trust, because of the age range, they don't trust people to deliver. So it's pretty easy on our platform. You can pay on delivery. You can decide to pay cash on delivery. You can decide to transfer to us, because we want to build that trust with our consumers, with the retailers, so to speak. So it's simple. Just order on our platform, and you can pay when you see your products.
This is fantastic.
Let me just ask, how old is the founder of this?
We're not going to
No, the reason why I say that I feel
like
it's a young person's, it's a young person's idea. You know, young people they're just so smart and they are very creative. And if it's a young person, just kudos. Well done.
Kudos. I mean, I know somebody who I want to open a store for. I mean, she's not very educated, but I know we can actually do this for her because I make sure she keeps her busy. Trust me, it's a fantastic idea.
And we have like over 30,000 people already
signed up on the platform.
Wow.
And speaking of that, you
in Nigeria.
Yes, you can even make money when you refer somebody on the platform. So you have a friend and then you just refer somebody on the platform and then boom, you're making money. The person is making money from the platform.
Well done.
So it's like a two-way thing. You make money from your product, you can also make money.
Thank you very much. The money has finished. Thank you. All right, let's go to break now. But we wish you the best. It's like Mariam said, it's a really fantastic idea. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll start our gisting visitors. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So there are lots and lots of hot topics to discuss today. I mean, we're going to take them in little bits. The first one that recently trended was this, alleged man of God. We don't even know if he's a real man of God. But I doubt if he's a real man of God. But he was saying that there was a tweet that went viral. It says, I am a pastor. I love waist beads. I love leg chains. I love multiple ear piercings and light makeup. Women looking sexy is not a sin. Slay it. So obviously, people started commenting. And, we just thought, this is a topic that we can have and look at it from different perspectives. Because I know we've discussed something like this similar recently. And the real perception of the fact that a man of God should be pious, should be somebody who can differentiate between worldly things and things of God. So when somebody who claims to be a pastor is telling you that he likes things that are seemingly worldly, like leg chains, sexiness, waist beads. Now, what we now begs to ask, who defines these things as either worldly or godly? Is wearing waist beads, is it worldly or is it godly? What is sexy to a man of God? Can you picture a man of God in that situation where he's admiring a woman who has waist beads, leg chains, multiple body piercings, all over the place, possibly some tattoos here and there. I mean, if you might as well do the whole home, So, can you imagine it? And is our world changing? Or are we just accepting and merging these two worlds of secular and godly and spiritual? Is there no more? Is the line so thin? Is it now blurry, or is there still a definitive line? Let's discuss this. You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-3907-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So let me start with, I'm not going to start with YK.
So, I had to just quickly check what does sexy means. Okay, so it's sexually attractive or exciting, very exciting or appealing. And I think that every husband should have an appealing, an attractive, exciting wife to them. And if the pastor decides to publicize what his preferences might be, we shouldn't castigate him for it, because except he's taking liberty with other women, that's when it becomes sin. But if you define what you want and you're able to find that desire within one woman, your wife, then it is good. Also, I think that we have boxed our pastors in so much religious dogma, or like there's this way you must be pragmatic, how you should carry yourself, that we don't realize that they are human beings that have emotions and they want to look good. They want their wife to look good. They want to enjoy themselves as well. And we don't see it. We want them holy, speaking in tongues, fire breathing, praying all the time. But there's more to life.
But it's that God never changes. I mean, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. His policies back then is still the same here. So why is modernization making us feel as if we have to sort of reinvent what is holy?
I think it has always been there. I don't think that it is that there was ever a time that holy people did not have sexual preferences or, you know, find the partners that they ended up with being appealing. I mean, we see many pastors, it's from church that they pick their mates, and I'm sure it's not only because the person is a prayer warrior. It has to be, there's a certain appeal to her. I think what's worrying for many people is that these conversations were not conversations that pastors would have so openly and anywhere. Maybe during a marriage counseling session in church concerning, you're trying to educate people, but that you two, you're on social media, as they're naming waist beads, if you're naming, and I'm counting, I'm like, Uncle Pastor, how many waist beads have you seen? And in doing that, in what godly manner did this happen, you know? So that's what many people are concerned about, that it seems like right now pastors are so open about their, you know, their preferences in such a way that they're almost competing with those in the world. And you know, the way the Bible has said it, for me personally, I don't think some of these things are whether worldly or godly. I feel that they are cultural. And in African culture especially, most of these things are just things that people wear. You know, you see little children from when they're babies, you have them all over them. Some cultures, they have their ears pierced. So I don't see it as worldly or godly. But Christianity, I think, is the one that has divided it that way. And if you say you're a pastor in that way, then you have to go according to what the Bible and the church say. So just speaking about it openly, if it's not in a place of educating people.
Well, you see, we raise our young girls I mean, young girls in church they have nice skirts, they pack your hair nicely, look decent. You know, we raise them to be like that. And suddenly when they get married, you now want them to now become this diva overnight. I mean, I feel cheated sometimes as a young Christian girl. I feel like you should have allowed me to do a lot of things. If that is what you now require of me as a wife, then when I was younger, expose me. Let me explore my sexuality. Let me find who I am. But you made me so holy, reading the Bible, prayer warrior, fasting. All you do as a single girl is fasting and waiting for this husband to come.
And when the husband comes,
they don't want you to become Madonna overnight. Come on,
I like that.
Cut us some slack. So when you're not telling me you want waist beads, well, who taught me how to use waist beads? You know me, I should leg chain. Who taught me how to use neck in my leg chain? Who? Where did I get it from? I'm not allowed to read magazines. I'm not allowed to go to social media. I'm not allowed to go and watch cable and see all those things. I am not enter marriage. You're not pastor telling me I am not. Come on, please cut a young Christian girl some slack.
Yeah.
So let us choose it. Are we holy or are we worldly? Choose one.
No. Oh, let me hear.
Excuse me. I think that our society has become too hypocritical. We hypocritical and judgmental, whether Christian, whether Muslim, whatever. We just like to judge people. We like to judge people on their preferences. The pastor has said it. We shouldn't even be discussing it because to me,
his own personal opinion.
That is how he wants it. But because we're a judgmental society, it has become news. It has become, something that we want to, Everybody should live. And I think when you have this, because you are just saying you're a Christian girl, where did you learn these things? That is because you grew up in a hypocritical society, where hypocritical and judgmental, because I must add that judgmental.
Yes. So where you are is what I want us to build on. The fact that we have been very hypocritical.
Yeah.
We want these things, but we pretend we don't. So as we are growing, as we are becoming mothers and we're raising people, how best do we begin to expose them? How do we do it properly? Because abroad, we don't want our children to be totally AWire either. But at the same time, we want them to have good values. So where do we marry both? That's the real critical conversation I want us to have here. Because it seems trivial, but there's a real fundamental foundation where this is coming from that we need to deal with.
Okay, you are the one. You are the one that has raised full-grown adults. That went to. How did you?
My daughter, I did not remove anything from her learning process. She chose to be the way she. I didn't say, you must be a virgin till you marry. I didn't give her benchmark.
Yeah.
I gave her an education, which was my duty as a parent.
Yeah.
A good education. I didn't ban her from computer, but computer of those days is not computer of today. Right. Because there are some things now on the internet that I don't want my child to know this. But I let her be as independent as was
independent thinking.
As was okay in the
at the time.
Right. And not no, you have to be a Christian, and she was a Christian. Right. She chose by herself not to be a Christian.
Yeah, eventually.
Let
me take this call from the Pastor Elijah. Pastor Elijah, are you there?
Yes, good morning,
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mariah. Good morning, Sarah Yemi.
Good morning.
Dr. and the other lady, Miriam.
Yeah.
I'm the first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I love your
Welcome
program.
to the show. Thank you, sir.
And I consider it a sin for me not to watch it on daily.
Thank you, sir.
I know how effective it has been to reshape, to retutor people. So, because of your program, I have to put TVC application on my phone.
Wow.
So that each day running, I will always be engaged with you.
Thank you, sir.
Not all about calling to talk to you. But this morning, I have to give this topic an imperative consideration. Who are we? We are people created without religion. And if at the end of the day, religion becomes inescapable, and we find ourselves in one religion or the other, the extremity of those religions' doctrinal practices has always been putting us across line with God. Number one, who define your godliness and worldliness in terms of dresses? And don't forget that where religion and culture clashes, no one will be bent to the other one. And in terms of this pastor's issue that you brought this morning, that you've just raised, my submission is this. If anybody is pointing to the scripture that there is a portion that says, or wherever God says or speaks about jewelry or modries or this our own crafty attachment to make to beautify us, was there a place that God has ever said we should not, that Yenny should not wear earring, that you should not put necklace? The only condemnation point in the scripture was when it becomes like God to them. At some point, if they couldn't get it fixed on, they will be able to run their daily life. God spoke about it. But the most important thing is that modesty should be considered. What are those things attracting me to Morayo? Should it be her shoes? What are those things attracting me to Yenny? Could it be the pouch she put on her iPad? So all those things should be considered. We are trying to redefine this, our religion, most especially Christianity.
Thank you very much, Pastor Elijah.
We Christianize every aspect of our lives.
Thank you very much, Pastor Elijah, for your comments on this. Because I wanted us to bring this conversation to mothers who are raising young girls and young boys. Because there are mommies in church right now. They are complaining, oh, my child is single. Oh, my child is this. Oh, that one has happened. I am not. There is that frustration. But we raised these models, these women that, and these men. Some of them are so Christianese. They are gritty. They want to say girl. And I mean, recently I posted on my page, my girlfriend at my school, Pan Atlantic. And I said, my girlfriend is single, please, if you're interested. People come up to her, and they were having a conversation. And from day one, he's already saying that, can she cook? Can she do this? How many children does she want to have? From day one. Our men don't understand that you meet a girl, have a conversation. Know her likes, her dislikes. Speak to her. Talk about, be funny. Have a sense of humor. Relax. Hang out, go for a date. Just talk about normal life. Talk about the weather. Talk about the traffic. Talk about the hawkers. Or talk about something. Don't worry about how many children that she wants to have. Don't talk about how many, can she cook in the kitchen? Can she invite material? From day one. Come on. So we are raising these church and Christianese citizens who are now coming to the world and are not dateable. You can't marry them. You not end that. They want you to start wearing the waist bead that you have they banned and demonized and exorcised out of you. You wait in marriage. Come on. That's my frustration this morning.
So there was a video that there was a conversation, I think it's Mariah and maybe Auntie Yenny will have it. There was a guy that came to talk to us in your office one time that he wants to really marry one lady. By the grace and mercy of God, by the grace and mercy of God, I have a business. I really love her. I believe she will be my wife. By the grace and mercy of God, like before 30 seconds, I asked Telly that, can you have a conversation with Apui? By the grace and mercy of God, by the grace and mercy of God, you know, and I realized that this is why the man is single, because he can't, there's no life. And the truth is that we are not created to, as Christians or whatever religion we have, we are in the world. Yes, we are not off the world, but we are in the world. And if we don't dwell here, we will be isolated from our ability to impact on that world. So many people are so religious that they have no impact, because from your look, you can't even preach any message. You cannot pass on any message to the person. They will look at you and say, I don't want to hear from you. If this is what your religion can make you look like, I'm not interested. So
okay, sometimes this is a very deliberate, it's a deliberate decisions for parents to raise their children a certain way. So I want you to be Christianese, as you call it, and talk that way and interact that way. And the thing is that like is supposed to seek out like. So they will find their Christianese partners, that they understand their language, understand their community, and the code of conduct that works for them.
Right.
But for me, personally, the reason I may not put my child wholly into that is because I want for my child to be able to experience a lot of things and be influenced by so many things. I would guide it, you know, to the point that it is in a decent way. But I want my child to be so influenced that she has better social skills, or he has better social skills. He's able to talk to anybody from anywhere, and they're able to converse and, you know, have a relationship. But for those who are not that way inclined, for those who haven't been raised that way,
my
issue comfortable in that, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you seek out each other.
Let me puncture what you're saying. So we have been raised to have that code of conduct, and like fell in love with like. Yes. These two like now enter the marriage. Mr. Like is now saying, I want to be that beast, because he's imagining the outside. So the girl who has married a like, thinking I have married another Christian like me, is now entering the marriage to realize that this man has fantasies about
it works anywhere. For a certain person that feels that, you know, I'm wild like that, I'm like this, we do everything, and then you marry someone who is just like you, and then you get into marriage and the person tells you, Madam, please, can we scale back? So people also change their minds. Yeah, it works both ways.
Let's go to break. I really like to hear our viewers at this point. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still having this conversation, and I think the crux of it is, how do we raise our godly children to be sexy? That's really the crux of this conversation. I have Frank from Abulegba. Good morning. Are you there, Frank?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning to everyone over there. My own perspective, let me just start with the past. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, let me just start with the pastor. The pastor that is the pastor view, I guess. Because on the real sense of it, if we should look at it generally, you will see a lot of girls that go to the church, dressed well, you tell this girl, oh, she's very holy, but check out what she's doing right behind her back. Check out what she's doing at her back. You will be surprised that this girl, wow, you don't know that she has been doing all sorts of things, but to you, you believe she's very holy. So it's better for someone to be very real. Okay, let me give you an instance of this Chidima issue, the issue of Chidima and the guy that was murdered. Maybe the guy that was murdered, maybe in his own house, his wife thought this guy does not smoke, does not do anything, just very, very decent guy. But look at the man right behind the wife's back. Look at what he did there. Then the lady will be his wife will be so surprised that, oh, my husband can do this, my husband can do that. But maybe that is what gave his husband fun. Maybe that is what he likes. That maybe when you want to have fun, he get high, do a lot of shit, which he cannot do that with his wife.
Thank you very much, Frank. So, I mean, but let's finish this conversation.
You see, moderation is key. And I must say over and over again, you know, what you said, how do we raise a woman that is, how do we raise a child to adulthood, that they are comfortable with themselves and they have a limit? Because the idea is our parents were careful not to expose us too much because they didn't want us to go haywire. They didn't want us to go crazy. So they created, like, let us be conservative. So even if she wants to even venture out a bit, she will not travel too far. So that the idea is we don't want our children to be staying in the house, but we don't want them also going everywhere, haywire and all of that. We must give our children ability to have self-control, ability to know that I can experiment and I can control myself. I can try this out, I don't like it, I come back. And give them a home all through that. Anyhow, whatever happens outside, I have your back. Once a child have that level of, my parents will always have my back, I have something that I can always fall back on, there's less risk of going crazy outside, experimenting.
So for me growing up, I noticed that, especially with the Hausa girls in my community, from when we were quite young, when our own parents were still trying to protect us from the world, you know, they would have like, you know, they will already start putting some makeup on. You know, they go out to do like the trading with their things on. All of a sudden, these are children we play with in the sand, then they start walking differently. But then it's done in the home, and it's taught to you by maybe your older sisters or your mothers. For me, I feel that that's a wholesome way to start introducing a girl to her body and, you know, what it means. In that case, she's not doing it because, oh, I want this man to catch this man's eye, but she's just understanding, you see, I'm a woman, I have to sit a different way. I need to put this to look prettier and everything. So that's another way of allowing her to gradually go into and find herself. So
let me take this call from Ifeanyi. I'll come to you, YK. Good morning, Ifeanyi. Are you there? Hello, Ifeanyi. Hello? I think we lost that call. Go ahead, YK.
I'm just going to say, back to this hypocrisy. There is this girl I know. She was always tying scarf, holier than thou, this. In fact, she was so religious and holier than thou, the dresses. One day, I saw her with a married man. So I said,
no, you two together.
I know, but all of a sudden her demeanor had changed. She wasn't a young girl, and everywhere she was carrying Bible everywhere. Next thing, she was pregnant.
Whoa.
So that's why I say when you are holier than thou, the possibility that you will stray in the wrongest possible way is there, because you have closed your mind to the world. Once your mind is closed to the world.
So is that marriage, YK, that I wanted us to really bring out? Because parents are watching us today, and a lot of mothers and fathers are watching us, and they've caged these young people such that it's all about Bible, Monday service, Tuesday service, Wednesday service, church, home. They have that continuous routine.
But those people, when they are going to stray,
so it's better to
so you expose them to it from the house. That they should know themselves, know your body, understand this is what you have. Like, I know I have had that conversation with my boys at the point in time that, okay, this and this is what your body would, when you wake up, this is the normal thing, you'll be seeing it, but it's getting different now. That conversation must take place from within the house. They must be exposed to the fact that people will start asking you out. Not that they will ask you out, then you not like, then you'll be wondering, why is this person saying they're so beautiful, they're so beautiful?
I really want to get some calls. Let me get to hello. Good morning. I hear I have a call. Good morning. Are you there? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. Catherine.
Yeah, my name is Catherine. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to contribute to what you're talking about.
Please. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Fine. So I'm a mother of 3, and I have, my first son is 13, and my daughter is 11, and then I have another daughter that is 7. Now, with everything that you're talking about, I have my last daughter likes being called a princess. She's like, I'm the princess of the house, and this and that. Now, I am a fashionista myself. So they see me the way I dress. I wear ankle chains if I feel like. I wear whatever it is I feel like, but then with moderation. However, I noticed that my second daughter likes all these things that I do, even more than my first daughter. But I do not at all discriminate. I like the way she is. She will just tell me, Mommy, I like this, I like this. Oh, when you like it, fine, go ahead and try it on. And she likes it, and she looks good. She will even compliment herself. Our brother compliments her. Our brother compliments me because you see the way their dad compliments me.
Right.
They love the way I look. And then that's why parents should know that they are modeling, that the first teachers that the children are seeing. You are the model your children are seeing. So it depends on how you look. It depends on how you're comfortable in your skin. It depends on how you're comfortable in what you're wearing. So whatever it is that you are showing to those kids, it's what they will portray when they grow up.
Thank you very much, Catherine, for this point, because we have mothers, our mummies in church, you know, they dress like mummies. They're the way you dress.
Mother in Israel.
You know, mother in Israel, like me. I'm one of them. No, trust me. Because it's sure that carry all these things. Let me, I know. Let us be very real here. So I'm also taking the learning, because the way I dress at home, my children will be looking at me, because I am the picture of who they are seen as a Christian woman. So if I have this look of, constantly looking all perfect and, you know, constantly reading the Bible. The children are modeling that, and they're not going into the world where so many things are expected of them. How do they marry this?
It's not wrong for them to see you reading the Bible. Yes. It's not wrong for them to see. Actually, it is good.
Yes.
We must preach that the holiness is good, or the righteousness is good, but the holiness is not outward alone. And the holiness is not based on what you wear.
Yeah.
The holiness is your character. So we have the good character and have your look good. So when I was doing my birthday, I took my children to Monkey Village. That place was very, very, you know, like it was a ghetto, and they saw it, and they saw that what were we doing? Mommy is spending her birthday giving to the poor. So it doesn't mean we're not looking good, but they are seeing the action, and there's a character being portrayed. So I like the idea of teaching the values. Right. I mean, modeling the right values, showing yourself.
9 times out of 10, little girls especially, follow what their mother sees. Me, when I was growing up, my mother used to paint her nails. Probably why I paint my nails, because my mother was always looking, you know. Yeah. But my daughter, her own
immediate influence
was my mother, who at that time had now become she's
very humble.
No, not humble, but she was always in the house. She didn't paint her nails. She just, you know. So that was my own daughter's immediate influence. Mine was my mom.
Right.
And I noticed my auntie, my mom's sister, none of her daughters paint their nails.
She was like,
and my auntie, she never painted her nails. She never wore makeup. Her daughters don't wear makeup. My own mother wore makeup.
Right.
My daughter was influenced by my mother.
Who doesn't
at that time, I stopped wearing makeup. My mother was in her 50s.
Yeah. Well, you know, one thing with parenting and raising a child is that sometimes there's something you see at home, but then you grow up and say, I'm going to be nothing like my mom.
Yes, I don't want this.
So you'll be looking at your friend's mother and like, why does my friend's mother always call me? She wear high heels, but my own mother is like, that's the person I want to become. So you find a person who, by the time they leave home, they learn things from their friends. So there's peer pressure as well, where you want to be more like your friends. And you come home to the family and like, where did you learn this from? None of us act like this. So there's so many things that will influence it, but it's important to give them the right foundation. So there's nothing wrong with being Christianese and everything. But it's important for your child to see your different sides, that you're a Christian mother. Yes. Also, they should see you as a Christian wife. How do you relate with daddy when you are in a romantic situation and how he makes you smile? And those are the things
I would like to link this up to our next story, because it's actually relatable. Let me take this call first. Good morning. Are you there? Hello? You're live. The TV is delayed. Please listen to me. Are you there? Okay, I have to disconnect that call. Right. So, I mean, a lady posted on her page about parenting, stating that however your child turns out does not mean that you did not do anything, that you did anything special, and that you are just lucky and blessed as a parent. Now, is this true? Does it mean that all the hard work you put into training your children does not matter? Are parents truly responsible for whatever a child becomes in future? What roles does a parent have to play in shaping their children? So I want us to link it up to this, because we're talking about role modeling. And I wanted us to link it up to this pastor's issue. Let's not move away from this issue, where somebody who possibly married somebody who is like him, right, now is saying that I want you to be like this. Now, this is somebody a young woman whose husband, who is exposed to something else, is now being forced to become who she's not, just because she wants to keep her husband. You know, these are the issues I have. That's on one end. Now, how do we raise a child to be godly, a Christian, but yet sexy? That's another box. That's another box.
There's another box of you raise your child godly. You did everything right. Then the next thing, they showed you a picture of your child. You know, some parents that are on social media, the first day they see their picture of their child that they sent to school on Instagram, they are shocked. They're like wondering, where did this come from? I didn't buy you these clothes. I didn't dress like this. Why are you looking like this online? This is not the girl I raised. This is not the child I spent years raising.
I know somebody whose mother is a Deeper Life member. And he recently came out, you know, that he lives in America. I mean, he just came out. I mean, those of us that know him.
We've said that before.
So, but he now came out. And the mother is just quiet. Because she'll be thinking,
where did this come from?
Who did you know? So you do everything. That's what this person is saying. You do everything within the books. And she goes to Monday service with you, Tuesday service with you, Friday service, you go to campus Friday, you do the deliverance service, everything. But yet the child still goes the way the child. So you can't blame yourself that you've not do your part as a parent.
It goes back to a child is not a child. So everybody has their own independent way of thinking. No matter what you teach or when they are going to go their way, they are going their way. There's nothing you can do. And she's a human being on his own. But I want to read this tweet from Andrew in StarTimes. He says...
Not a tweet, tube.
A tube, sorry. Good morning, Yenny. Please tell Miriam, Tokpe, and Muriel to read the songs of Solomon in the Bible.
You will see
and report back to us tomorrow.
Yes.
I know, I've read it.
There's a lot of sexiness there. But you see, Tokpe, I want us to really...
But this parenting thing, let me say that of course, there is a part of grace that, oh, God just made this thing happen for you in terms of parenting. You can do your best. There are many influences around a child. But I believe strongly that the child learns more from what you do. There are many things my parents probably said that I did not do. But there are many things I do now, and it is what my mom did. It was the way my dad behaved. I am doing what they did. In terms of my investment, in terms of closing my eyes, I'm learned from their mistake. I'm modeling, they've modeled it for me. So it's not them telling me, do this, do this, do this. It is me seeing what they did. And I think many times parents expect that is what they say that the children will do. They see the hypocrisy of what you're saying. They see you saying respect, but you're not respecting people around you. So when your child disrespects, it's not because they are disobeying you, that you did not train them well. You trained them well, but you were not doing what you're telling them to do. So they will do what you are doing. If you steal or you're cutting corners, your children will do it. So, but the case of outside influence, the case of strong outside influence is also very there. So they've seen their parents and they see somebody else they prefer. They admire that is more successful. And they say, Mommy, Daddy, you have said this to me, but your life is not, I don't want your life. I want this life. So regardless of what you do, they are going for that life. That's why I advise parents to be successful. Advise parents to go for success.
Advice? No, let's dissect what you just said. So I am mommy in Israel. I'm the minister in charge of this thing. And I am doing my best. I'm working hard. I'm a worker. I'm comfortable. My children are okay. Maybe they go to a private university and they're okay. To you, you're fine. You raise this godly young woman or your godly young man, and they are seeing another person who is probably not a church person, but they seem to be having multiple cars and they have this lovely lifestyle. And the child is more this family member is not as godly as my own parents. Yes, they are living in Banana Island. They have this, they have that. Is this the right thing? So is now, how do you raise a child in that world to understand and appreciate the values you have raised them with, the work, the hard work you have put in to give them what they have today, and not be looking at, Lagwaja is better.
You know what? One thing with being a child is that there are different stages. So, and I feel that it happens to all of us. You start off just loving your parents and just wanting to be them. In fact, everything. And then you meet other people, and then you have outside influences. And then you're thinking, I don't want anything many people have said, I don't want to be like my mom in any way. And then you get to a point, you get married, start having your children, and then you have this new appreciation for your mother and recognize that the sacrifices she's made, and you now, respect her even better. And then you start to raise your children just as she has raised you. So there's that process. But when we're talking about how, when you raise your child and in the end it's about luck, I think that, as Tokpe said, that there's that grace, But also, I think in raising our children, many parents, especially parents from older parents, never put into play mental health issues. So you raise your children the same. You have 5 children. 4 turn out well, just the way that you raised them, but one just turns out just outside what you have raised them to be. And you're wondering, what did I do wrong with this child? Apart from every child having a different personality, the truth is that mental illness shows in different ways. People are now having that conversation. They're now having their children go to therapy, and they're saying that some people are just clinically that way. There's something in their brain that makes them see things differently, and so they'll react differently. Then there's something also that I have noticed, which is called, they said, oppositional defiant disorder, which is a child, is just that particular child that no matter what it is that you represent as an adult, as an authority for me, I will oppose this, I'll be defiant against it, I'll be stubborn to it. So you have children that, because even the fact that you're just Christian, I'm going to be the opposite of what you want. And it's not your fault. That's just the child's nature. And you just hope that whatever it is that while you're raising that child, something would stick.
Right.
Sorry, Miriam, I just wanted to break holes in what Tokwe said. She said, I advise parents to be successful.
Yeah, it's all
there is what advice can, if you're a hard worker, I think what you should say is, I advise parents to work hard, not to be successful. Because what is success? Success is relative. Do I want a hush puppy success? Because hush puppy, to some people, was successful.
Yes.
But he was a criminal.
You don't want that kind of success.
Well, allegedly.
Yes. No, not allegedly.
Yeah, no, they haven't found him guilty yet. No, he hasn't been convicted. So, but apparently a Yahoo person. So there is success is relative. If you are going to advise your child, please, your parents, it's not success at any cost. Please
work hard.
Work hard. No matter if you don't have to be a millionaire.
Why can let me give you
a successful.
Let me give you a real life call. Hold it for a while. Good morning. Are you there? Hello. Hello. Are you there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Elizabeth. I just wanted to just add something to what Gabriel was saying.
Yes.
I'm a perfect example of the scenario that Mariah gave. You know, you had an just kind of mother to go for all the services all through the weekend. But growing up, I never wanted to be like my mom. Even though we had the don't do this, don't do that. I went to a private university. I had everything. But my mother never came up as a role model for me. So I never saw myself in that shoes at all. I had an auntie who was my role model, the trouser wearing, mini skirt wearing auntie, who I always looked up to, and I wanted to be. She was actually my role model. So everything I was doing was, geared towards that line. The moment I gave my freedom and I gained my independence, I did what I wanted and not what my parents literally wanted me to do. But it did not mean that I was lost. It did not mean that I did things right. The day that I got married a virgin, I didn't believe. It's just that I did not for once fancy the way my mom looked, and I never wanted to look in that way.
Fantastic.
So that you've invested in your children doesn't mean that because they have chosen the path, then you've totally gone the wrong path.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. So who is kidding who? Who is who? Because, you see, I like the example that Elizabeth just gave. Many of us, we wear this new, I'm now mommy. I am mommy. But these children are growing up into a world where they are seeing so many other options. So one of the objectives of this conversation is to tell our mommies on how can they, what's the word I'm looking for, reinvent themselves such that they can be real role models for these modern children. Because you don't want your child to have a different role model aside from you. I mean, unless you think it's okay to have a different role model. I mean, I'm trying to choose the right words. How does a parent reinvent themselves considering the times?
You know what, Mariah, the thing I see is it's important that we don't get it wrong because some mothers, are appreciated by maybe other children. Because I remember my own mother was the strict mom. And my mom was a nurse. She had very little means. You know, so there was really little she could do in the way of makeup and dressing and, you know. But I knew that my mother was a hardworking woman. She was spending all those hours and nights at work just to get me, you know, to get a good education and things like that. Then we had the cool moms that would come to my school. The sort of school that I went to, I had mothers that would come in school. The day she wears red outfit, her car is red. Yeah. The driver is wearing a red tie. Do you understand? They travel and everything. But so, and then they would have parties. They would sing all sorts of songs on radio, the sort of ones that my mother would twist your ears for listening. And they were the cool moms then. And yes, we admired them. But after a while, I got to, you know, when I talk about my mom, I mean, she's my biggest role model. But it took an understanding and a maturity to get to that age. I understood that the reason why my mom is not fly and everything was because she was putting all the resources in making sure that I had an education. She had little, you know, left for anything else. And now that my mom is much older, she's able to express herself more. My daughter is watching her and thinking, my daughter says, I want to be a nurse because of my grandmother. Now she has the time. So sometimes it's not that. And then other times you have the children of those fly mothers looking at you. Who, and
loving you.
Yes, and saying, she's so calm, she's at home, she spends time with her children. She's so loving. You're so lucky to have such a mother. So as long as the mother is doing what is right by God and by herself and by her children, she's hardworking. It doesn't matter how she looks.
I think a few comments. Let me take this call. Yes, I'll let you in a minute. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please. Ade.
Okay, my name is first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. Firstly, what I really want to say is that parenting
are you on speaker? I can't hear you well, sir.
Because I use myself as an example. I was born and brought up without silver spoon. But the value you put on me made me to show that when I was in school, I had my colleagues, which they come from what is called a rich home. But I don't look at that. I look at, my own parents have done.
Oh, we lost the call. Really wanted to. Let's take a
I need to take tubes. So Deborah Okorafor says, I am 23 years old and my sister is 25. Yet my mom still checks what we wear. Wearing of trousers and piercing of our ears is a big sin to her. Ademola Joseph, my opinion on this matter is if you are holy and God-fearing, then marry someone who has the same view just as you do. And if you are worldly, go for your type. Andrew in StarTimes says, well, Ola, if you read the... they're talking about the
I didn't want to go back
Solomon.
to this issue, YK, but I would like us to wrap up. We've talked about 2 topics today. Let me just wrap up on that one. So if you marry within your type, church to church, let it be church to church. From start of marriage to death do us part.
No, but growth happens now.
Do not be unequally yoked.
We've been equally yoked now. We are married a God-fearing man. When we now enter the marriage, let us remain God-fearing. Don't change midway and say, my wife doesn't wear beads. My wife doesn't... If growth happens, let your growth not be to take me into the world. Let your growth be within the Christian space.
That's my guarantee that.
I can't guarantee that. So don't make... If you married me, Sister Mary, I will remain Sister Mary to marry. So
you may not change.
And some change. You see,
there's only one constant.
Don't force me to change.
I know. There's one constant in life, and that is change. Yeah. So you may change. You may remain Sister Mary, but you may change. The Yenny you see today is not the Yenny of 40 years ago. I have changed. And everybody changes. So you may change. Sister Mary, you may start to wear beads.
Okay, so just in case Sister Mary changes, the man changes. I mean, because he's been a Christian all his life, he now wants to admire Madonna. Now me, and I want to remain Sister Mary. Should I now stop him from cheating if he wants to cheat on me?
No. I think that at the end of the day, between husband and wife, we've already discussed this topic in different other on different other platform shows. That when a husband and wife have already married, they must be committed to finding a compromise that works for both parties. So if Oga wants Sister Mary to change to Madonna, Sister Mary will say, I cannot reach Madonna level. Can I just go to maybe I cannot reach Miley Cyrus, so maybe I will now get to this person. Maybe I will get to can we find a middle ground? But compromise must take place on both sides to make the marriage work.
9 times out of 10. couples grow together,
yeah.
9 times out of 10, you will see they will both be changing. They will not even realize it's happening.
Yeah.
Especially if they are in sync mentally.
Yes.
So if Sister Mary is becoming
That's
Cardi B,
sounding like each other even.
If Sister Mary is becoming Cardi B, husband too should begin to start changing. If not, you become Baba in the house. And mom
what we're saying is that with the couple, when one person is changing, it's likely the other person is also changing alongside. Because the influences that is affecting the change is affecting both of you. So if she's growing towards Cardi B, whatever is making her go towards Cardi B is already influencing you to go towards, what's his name, Quavo? Or what's his name?
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? Hello, you're live. Hello? Oh, goodness, I really wanted to hear it. Hello, are you there? Okay,
Hello?
so, yeah, go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Okay, my name is Bisola.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just want to contribute to what you are saying. Like most parents, I guess they are scared or they don't trust their children. Like, I'll use myself for an example. My mom, there are some things she told me not to do, but I really wanted to do, like painting of nails, fixing of eyelashes. I really wanted to do them, but I think she doesn't like it. So because she does not like it, so I should also not do it. And to me, I feel it's bad, like, because you don't like something, that does not mean, do you care about what me I like? And there's some other things like piercing of ears and other things. Then I got married, and I found out that my husband too does not like such things. So, like, during my youth time, I didn't really explore, because there's some things I really wanted to do, but because if I do it, my mom does not like it. She's a Christian. She'll be like, if pastor sees you doing this, if pastors see you do that. But now, this pastor she's talking about, the children are now in university doing the same thing. And every time I see it, I'll be like, oh my God, my own mom did not allow me to do it because of so pastor. But they are doing it. Now I'm married again. My husband will be like, I can't wear short skirts, this and this. So I don't know, it's just like...
Thank you, Bisola. You help us to...
No, but so the thing is, Bisola would have known. I knew that I did not do many things as a single girl. And I wanted to do them in marriage. And I had options
so you chose
for marriage. I chose the one that would give me adventure. I chose my husband because I knew he was a vibrant, dancing, grooving, fun-loving person. Like, it was deliberate. Yeah. And there was another person that I knew was going to put me inside the house. If I was married to that person, I wouldn't be on it. It wouldn't allow me. It would just feel like I should be inside the house. So Bisola should have known the person he was going to marry and let the person know, see you. You might be looking at me like this. I want to do nails, though. I just cannot do it. When I marry, I'll do it. Same question I have with my husband.
So you go ahead.
I was just saying, maybe okay.
So a lot of these men that will say their wife shouldn't do anything, they are girlfriends.
Yeah, you know, also for her, she may have, without realizing, she might have just gone for what was familiar to her and comfortable to
100%.
her. She's used to being told not to do things like that, not to wear a certain way, not to look a certain way, and she gravitated towards the person that mirrored what was happening at home. But now that you're married, at least this is where she has found herself. Now have that conversation. Like, bros, I'm a Beyonce inside me. And I would like to come out small. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do everything, but let me try the nails. What color do you like? So let it be part of this metamorphosis that's going to happen. So he likes red, you do that.
Another thing that I've noticed is that we are so covered. Not covered, what's the Weibo word? We're shrouded, you know, that when you leave your parents' house and you move straight to your husband's house.
Honestly.
So you don't even have that time to even find yourself.
Yeah.
For many women, not all.
For a lot of women. You leave you go from mommy, daddy to husband. Straight. You don't live on your own. How many women have lived on their own? How many women can, okay, at this table, how many rented their own flats? No, you went to America. And you are living with your mother.
I rented my flat house. I left. I was like, I my flat.
I left.
She left. No, but I want to talk about success. Yeah, please, because we were talking about success, and Waike was saying that when I say parents be successful, I know a lot of parents that are not, they don't communicate. Success is that you have ambition, you have goals, you go for it, you let your children know that you're doing this, you achieved this, this was my goal, I went for it. I think that we should communicate with children as like a whole human entity and let them understand your struggles when you had them and how you overcame them and the one that you ditched and the one that you now moved on to. So they see the total value proposition that you have.
Let me take this final call. Good morning, are you there? Hello? Hello, you're there, you're live, are you there? think we're having issues there. Okay, so we have to wrap up very soon as we're winding down this conversation. I mean, you know, I just got a light bulb effect a few minutes ago because we're talking about modeling. And it just occurred to me now that growing up as a child, I used to go to Corona Primary School. And my aunt, Mrs. Adeshoko, she's probably watching, she used to come pick up her kids in school. And, you know, she had this corporate look. You know, just very, the kind of look. My mom was a Lagos brand, like she had stores in the Akpogbo, she was selling importer, exporter. So she didn't have time to be coming to doing school runs. So my aunt was the one doing that school run. But I realized that I almost modeled myself after my aunt, Mrs. Adeshoko, because my mom is a fashionista. She does her nails, her hair, her makeup. She was constantly taking pictures. Photo shoot. My mother was the inventor. Every birthday photo shoot. I mean, she was a fashionista. I'm not like that. I just never gravitated towards that because I was looking at the corporate image of my aunt wearing her sketch suit, coming to school, checking our books, making sure that we did our assignments, you know, doing our assignment. You know, that was what I gravitated towards. And she wasn't the makeup person. She wasn't the nail doing. So I think the adult I became modeled her, even as I grew up. So I think also as parents, even though you're not the perfect sister Mary, you're not the perfect person, have people around your children, expose your children to good positive influences around, so that they can have options.
The options will always be good.
Even though, they're good options, but you are, even though you are just sister Mary mommy, you are your mother in Israel, let your daughters or your husband, your sons, have uncles and aunties who have good values, but have different ways of life, so that they can then choose from these good options. So that you don't expose your children to negativity.
I agree.
We have to wrap up. Final comments, anything? We have to run.
I can take tubes.
Yes,
there are a lot of tubes. Godly and sexy is laughing. As long as Good Beat says, as long as you feel good about what you wear, all is well. Corey Williams says, is this the problem of Nigeria? What is no, this one is lamenting.
Okay, we have to run. Let me get your final. I've made a final comment on the issue of modeling. I'd like you to make final comments on the issue of the pastors versus raising children godly the way, because there are people watching now. What's our summation? What are your final thoughts? What's your advice? Can you raise a godly child to be sexy?
Yes, I think so. And I think it's important that you start small. And so the sexy is not saying, I'm trying to raise you so that you can be appealing to a man right now. It's like, I'm raising you to understand that you're beautiful, how you are, and these are the features, especially for female. You know what I'm doing? I'm talking like I'm talking to a female child, because I want the child to understand that, you know, being sexy is about herself. And when she looks at herself with confidence and carries herself with that way, it comes across as being sexy. I want my child to find her sexiness in her brain, in her intelligence, in her smartness. And I feel that everything else will come. You teach her about exercise and eating well, so she understands her body will look a certain way and look a certain way in clothes. So, you know, but start small and age-appropriate information.
Okay.
Yes, I'll just say that I believe that our journey involves prayers, and that there are things that are beyond your control when it comes to parenting. You can do everything. Pray that where you are not there, the Spirit would be guiding your child wherever your child is, and you'll be happy at the end.
I just think you should give your child the best foundation that you see fit, and know that that child will grow up to be what he or she wants to be, and you should be at ease. At peace.
I think we can wrap up on that. Thank you. Yes. That's all we can take on the show. I hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.